Looks like we're going to have a hotly contested New York mayoral race with the Democratic nominee being a socialist. Some might argue communist, but let's just call him a socialist for today, named Zoran Mandani, running on lots of topics. We're talking about government-run grocery stores. Are you kidding me? But he's also talking about rent control, a millionaire tax, lots of things that we could dig into. But as a real estate channel, we are going to talk about, once again, rent control being the answer from socialists. And we're going to think, is that going to solve the problem? We're going to have this conversation with the one and only Dana Dunford from Hemlane. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. This is a topic, especially living in San Francisco, near and dear to my heart as well.
Well, rent control is it's been a hot topic for really better part of a decade. California put it on the ballot. We declined it, but the governor came in and did some executive order, made it happen. Rent controls up there in Washington and Seattle. It is kind of rolling across the country, which I think is interesting. Again, it just really points to the kind of separate or wealth separation from the top and the bottom. It definitely a topic worth having. But yes, it looks like Zoran is running. One of his themes is rent control, and what I always think is really interesting is we have 100 years of people running rent control. And again, rent control is one of those topics that will probably get you elected. But if you run an actual live environment, doesn't end well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think the reason that it works so well in these cities is because there are so many renters. So if you look at New York, 2/3 of its residents are literally living in rental properties. They are not.
Wow, I didn't realize it was so high. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. And so the problem is then if you're a renter, you're like, great. Yeah, I don't want my rent to go up. Let me go ahead and vote for this, without understanding this is actually only going to make the problem worse, not better.
Yeah, and again, there's an economist, a socialist, an economist, I think from Europe somewhere, that decades ago basically had the famous quote, and people can look it up. I'm not making this up, but he said, rent control is the second best way to destroy a city. The first way, bombing it.
I haven't heard that before, but that is a good one. And I think when we kind of look at it and look at rent control and what that impact has is you kind of want to start with all these cities of saying, what is the price to rent ratio, or what is the purchase to rent ratio? Mm-hmm. And one or the other, right? It's the same thing of like, what's the value of the home versus how much is the rent? And if you look at cities like New York and San Francisco, it's actually more expensive to be a homeowner. So much so that when we were purchasing our home in San Francisco, my husband actually couldn't justify it. He said it's actually better for us to be renters and just buy a ton of rental properties elsewhere because the purchase to rent ratios are much better. He said, however, I know this is an emotional decision, Dana. You are not following Michael Zuber's recommendation. I know this is an emotional decision. You physically want to own our home, whatever. This is a terrible finance decision, but we will do it. And so when you look at the problem that we have, it's too darn expensive to just purchase properties there. And then somehow, instead of using that as here is the root problem and how do we solve that, instead they just focus on the renters. And if they just focus on it's too expensive to have homes outright here, how do we solve that? And I have 2 recommendations for it. I think you could actually pinpoint a long-term solution that is much better than going straight to the rental market and just continuing to have this cycle of purchase to rent ratios getting out of control and affordability across the board. And a lot of people saying, actually, I would rent. I don't have that emotional attachment. And so I think you need to solve the root of that and answer how realistic is this? What are some of the solutions, which I'll give you my strong opinions on, and then how do we solve that versus just blaming landlords, which is definitely what's happening right now in New York City.
Yeah, so I'll actually give you the full quote. I looked it up while we were talking because I want to make sure we give credit where credit is due. Yeah. This is it's a Swedish economist, a Swedish social economist, Sar Lindbeck. The actual quote is, rent control appears to be the most efficient technique presently known to destroy a city, except for bombing it.
I love that. I'm going to actually use that.
There you go. So again, when we talk about rent, and it's really funny. I wish I remembered his name. I think it's Millet down in South America. He essentially removed rent control because, again, he came in and slashed government bureaucracy. One of the things he slashed was rent control, and shockingly, more rentals came on the market, and rents went down.
Yeah.
If you have rent control, you are essentially restricting supply. And you are also restricting quality. What very quickly happens, and you guys can go back and look at history. The landlords who are running properties today can't afford to keep them up. They will be run down, become slumlords, and eventually be left vacant because it's cheaper to have them vacant than have them occupied. And it doesn't help anyone long term. You need supply. Supply is, you want a cure for high prices? Supply. You want a cure for high prices? The answer is supply.
And I have one other answer for you. So I think the first is supply. To your point, you need to build, people want to live there. The second one that not enough people talk about is transportation. Mm-hmm. You can solve it by saying, if you make it easier to get to the center of the city, if you make it easier to get around, you can actually increase the metropolitan area, but you need to focus on transportation. So if you ask me what I would focus on transportation and not having everyone wanting to live in the same area because it takes too darn long to take an hour train to get to the middle of the city. I mean, look at me. I live in San Francisco. It takes me an hour on the Muni to get to work. Even though it's, 20 minutes driving with no traffic, it takes me an hour to get into the office every day.
Yeah, again, one of the things we have to realize if you're a city planner and whatnot is transportation. You're absolutely right. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out in a decade, because I think the time for kind of central city population and work life and all of that is really changing with the internet and virtual assistants. And it's going to be very interesting to what happens in the suburbs and the exurbs, given technology. And it's all very valid. But again, I think at the end of the day, it really makes sense to me now. How does a guy get elected, as potentially elected as the mayor of New York? He puts on a very populist message that affects 66% of the population. Rent. If 66% of your population rent, tell them what they want to hear. I'm gonna make sure your nasty landlord doesn't raise rents. And we're going to ignore 100 years of history of how rent control will blow up the city. According to Assar Lindbeck, Swedish economist. So again, it will not end well, and not to mention all the other stuff. 2% additional tax. Can you imagine living in New York making $1 million a year? You currently, I think, are paying the highest combined tax rate because you add the city tax of New York at like 53% or 54%. He wants to add 2%. If you do that, you can just move to across the water, New Jersey, or some other somewhere else, and and Long Island, and save money. He's going to cause capital flight, and if you lose the top 1%, your whole policies fall apart, right? The top 1% income earners pay the highest percentage of the tax base. I don't know if it's true in New York, but nationally speaking, the top 1% of income earners, active income earners, pay 55% of total tax receipts. So if you create a policy,
super interesting.
Yeah, if you have a policy that tells the uber rich that you don't like them, right, which means more taxes, they're going to leave. They're going to go where capital is treated well. And that will just, like if you lost 10% of the tax base of New York City, that their whole services, police force, fire, garbage, all of it just collapses. It won't be pretty.
Yeah. What do you think about self-driving cars to solve it?
Well, I think self-driving cars are certainly going to be the answer for lots of cities, and New York included, when its time is right. But that's a Band-Aid, right? There's so many other solutions, and again, that's going to cause some people to lose jobs. I think one of the things we're seeing is AI and robots are coming for lots of careers and income sources, and self-driving cars will be just another one that will take jobs away from individuals. So it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out. What do you think about them?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, we're going to have to continue to follow. Yeah, I think I think that if you can get it where the self-driving cars are so efficient with one each other getting around, you could increase the MSA and have people get into the city much faster if all of the cars are communicating together. And that would make it more attractive for people to live outside the city. Then that would bring down the cost because there's less demand, right, for these apartments. So I think there's that, but it will be interesting because I still think that's a long way out to get the coordination of these self-driving cars to reduce the traffic flow, which is a huge problem in New York today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's always fun speaking with you, Dana. Where can people check out about Hemlane? Look at the resource tab, get the free trials, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, if you're interested in any property management, if you want to look at any resources on how to manage your properties, you can go to Hemlane, HEMLANE.com. If you're interested in any of our services, just mention one rental at a time because you do get 20% off your first year.
Folks, if you're a landlord, you need to go to hemlane.com, check out their trial, get the free service. Also, don't forget to check out their resource tab. Again, they do so much work for you on your behalf. Take a look look at your MSA, look at your area, see what is what. Dana, have a great day.
Great. Thanks so much.